Hey there, fantasy owners. LTC Fantasy here. Not sure if you're chiming in watching via YouTube or listening via podcast, but really do appreciate the watch or listen no matter how you're streaming the episode there. Before we get started, do want to mention we do have a new partnership with 247clash.com. Link is in the description. It's a pools type player versus player fantasy type game. It's pretty much made winnable for everyone. It's pretty fun and easy to play. If you do go to www.247clash.com, on the homepage, at the top of the homepage, you'll see a link on a how to play video. It's about 50 seconds long, explains the game a little bit better, and you'll see how easy it is to play. If you do decide to sign up and make a deposit, do use referral code LTC, as that'll help out our show behind the scenes, and hopefully you'll win some cash. Do note it is for Canadian residents only at this time. Might change in the future, but for right now, for Canadian residents only there. So today's our Week 19 Weekend Ads episode. So we'll look at this weekend schedule, break it down, and suggest players to hopefully help strengthen your fantasy roster as you make the final push in your leagues this week. Some things to note. Light night is Friday, 7 games. Saturday's heavy at 11 games. Sunday back to being a lighter night at 6. So we will focus on the Friday and Sunday teams, as those are your lightest nights. We will also cover Saturday teams that do get in 2 games this weekend, either playing Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday. That way you can maximize on some games played there. So we will start off by covering Florida first, as they play Friday only this week. Then we will cover Arizona, Nashville, and Seattle as they play Sunday only this weekend. Then we will cover 6 teams that play both Friday and Sunday as they get both light nights there. Probably the biggest advantage, snagging one of them if you can. And then we'll cover teams that play Friday, Saturday, and finish with teams that play Saturday and Sunday. So basically, we'll get right into it. Some players from Florida that play Friday only this week. There's no Demon really, because all their decent Demon, Forsling, Montour, and Ekblad are all higher ownership, and the rest don't really make the cut, so to speak. Not really on lower ownership worth streaming. So a couple of forwards for you. Maybe look at Anton Lundell, listed as center left winger, owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top line, second power play unit, and he has 5 points his last 7 games. He's been okay on that top line, been sticking around up there, and he'll be an okay streamer on a light night. Another one to maybe look at in Florida is Eetu Listerainen, listed as center left winger, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing third line, second power play unit there. He has 8 points his last 8 games, and in those 8 games, he's +6, has 15 shots on goal and 5 blocks there. So he's been pretty good of late there, and he'll be a solid streamer on a light night for sure. Now some Demon that play on Sunday only this weekend. Look at Juuso Välimäki over in the desert there. Owned in 10% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, second power play unit, and he has 7 points his last 7 games there, with 16 shots on goal, 3 points on the power play, and 11 blocks. He's getting opportunity up on the top pairing and getting some power play time, so he'll be a good option on a light night. Another one in Arizona, Shane Gostisbehere, owned in 36% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the top pairing, top power play unit. He was having a solid season there, just back from injury, so expect the solid season to hopefully continue and should be a pretty solid option for you this weekend. Over in Seattle, maybe look at Justin Schultz, owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing third pairing, second power play unit. He has 2 points the last 3 games with 5 shots on goal there. He is really hot and cold, so he is risky, but it seems like when he gets hot, he's really hot, and then he disappears for a while. So he could be an okay option in your deeper leagues. Maybe these 2 points in 3 games is a sign of him starting a hot streak again for you. Hard to say there. But we'll move along to some forwards that play Sunday only this weekend now. We'll start off in Arizona again. Look at Nick Schmaltz, listed as center right winger, owned in 36% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit, and he has 15 points his last 10 games. And in those 10 games, 26 shots on goal, 4 points on the power play. Really, he's been really hot of late, and he'll be an excellent add on a light night on Sunday there. Another one in Arizona is Barrett Hayton, listed as a center, owned in 5% of Yahoo leagues. He also plays on that top line, top power play unit for the Coyotes there. He has 8 points his last 10 games, with 30 shots on goal and 8 blocks in those 10 games. He's been solid on that top line, fitting in with Schmaltz and Keller there, and he'll be a good option on a light night for you if Schmaltz isn't available. Over in Nashville, maybe look at Ryan Johansson, listed as a center, owned in 13% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing top line, top power play unit there. He has 6 points his last 9 games, so okay offense of late. Couple points on the power play, 17 shots on goal in those 9 games. He's been better of late. He has not having the season he did last year, but been better of late. So he could be an option for your deeper leagues on a light night. Over in Seattle, maybe look at Jordan Eberle, listed as a right winger, owned in 19% of Yahoo leagues. He plays top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 7 points his last 5 games, and a couple of those points being on the power play and 12 shots in those 5 games there. He is streaky but hot at the moment there, so he could be worth the gamble on a light night on Sunday. Another one for Seattle's Jared McCann, listed as center left winger, owned in 32% of Yahoo leagues. He also plays on the top line, top power play unit, and he has 9 points over his last 11 games. 4 of those 9 points being on the power play and 30 shots on goal. He's been pretty consistent of late, pretty consistent most of the season. Had a couple dry spells in there, but he should be a pretty good streamer on Sunday for you. Last one in Seattle's Eli Tolvanen, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing third line up on the top power play unit there. He has 5 points his last 6 games, with 6 hits and 4 blocks in those 6 games. He's been decent in Seattle since being claimed off waivers there, and should be an okay option on a light night. Before we get into the next segment, do want to ask, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. We're trying to grow it here. Hopefully you're getting some value out of these episodes and they're helping you in your fantasy leagues. And yeah, that's my own little plug there, and we'll move along. We'll look at some D-men now that play both Friday and Sunday, so they get both light nights there. Over in LA, maybe look at Sean Dursey, owned in 32% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing, second power play unit. And he has points in 3 straight games right now, couple of those being on the power play, and 8 shots on goal in those 3 games. So he's been heating up, and we know Dursey has some offensive upside there, so he should be a solid option getting both light nights this weekend. Another one in LA maybe is Matt Roy, owned in 99% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the second pairing there. He has 4 points his last 7 games, so over that half point per game. And in those 7 games, 16 shots on goal and 14 blocks there. He is sporadic with his offense especially, but he has been showing a bit of offense of late. And if in a deeper Cats league, he is risky but an option for you. For the Islanders, maybe look at Ryan Pulock, owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, second power play unit. He has 3 points his last 6 games. In those 6 games, 12 shots on goal and 6 hits. Okay offense of late, definitely down from previous years that we've seen out of him, but he can be hit or miss, but not bad of late. So for your deeper leagues, he could be an option for you this weekend. Last one's Rasmus Sandin, owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues, playing third pairing, second power play unit there. He has 5 points his last 6 games, and in those 6 games, he's +5, has 12 shots on goal, 13 hits, and 8 blocks. He is listed as day-to-day, missed his second game on Tuesday there, so do check his availability, but if he is available, he's been not bad of late, so he could be an okay streamer, especially in your deeper leagues. Now we'll move along to some forwards that play both Friday and Sunday. Over in Buffalo, maybe look at Casey Middlestat, listed as a center, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit there. He has 5 points his last 4 games and 7 shots on goal in those 4 games. Pretty hot of late, but you got to remember with Metalstat, he is really hot and cold, so there is risky. So if you are in a pinch, that's where he might be an option for you. Another one in Buffalo is Dylan Cousins, also listed as a center, owned in 56% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing second line on the top power play unit for the Sabres there. He has 5 points in a 4-game point streak. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Do believe he did extend it to 5 games. Have to double check the box score there, but also in those 4 games, he's +3, has 7 shots on goal. He seems to be heating back up. He was cold there for a little bit, but should be a solid streaming option this weekend. Over in LA, maybe look at Quinton Byfield, listed as a center, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the top line, top power play unit, and he's put up 3 points the last 4 games, and in those 4 games, +3, 7 shots on goal and 5 hits there. He's on a small roll right now and could be an okay streamer in your real deep leagues just with the opportunities getting on the top line and top power play unit there. Another one in LA maybe is Victor Arvidsson, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 25% of Yahoo leagues, plays second line, second power play unit. He's put up 5 points the last 3 games, so nice week there for him. 3 points on the power play with 11 shots on goal and 5 blocks in there. So he's been breaking out of his slump and should be a good streamer this weekend. Another one in LA maybe is Alex Iafallo, listed as left winger, owned in 3% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing on the third line there, and he has 4 points his last 4 games, and in those 4 games, +3, 8 shots on goal and 3 blocks in there. So he's been streaky, so there is definitely some risk involved, but with being both light nights, he could provide some value and be an option for you. For the Islanders, maybe look at Kyle Palmieri, listed as a right winger, owned in 9% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit there. He's put up 9 points the last 12 games, and in those 12 games, 31 shots on goal, also 21 hits, so nice amount of hits there. So he's been not bad of late, little bit risky because he can get pretty cold in a hurry there, but with being both light nights there, he could be an okay option for you. Over in Toronto, maybe look at Ryan O'Reilly, listed as a center, owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit. Have him down as 2 points his last 3 games, but I do know that as I record this, he had a 3-point night on this being Tuesday here with 6 shots on goal. Also remember, he wins a ton of face-offs there, and he seems to be getting settled with his new line mates in Toronto there, so he should be a pretty good option this weekend. Another one over in Winnipeg, maybe look at Blake Wheeler, listed as a right winger, owned in 52% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, top power play unit, and he has 12 points his last 11 games, and of those 12 points, 4 have been on the power play. He's been solid all year, so if he is available, he'll be a very great, excellent streamer for you. I can't say it enough. And maybe even look more of adding him on longer term. He's been that good. So now we'll move along to some Demon that play Friday and Saturday. Start off in Colorado. Look at Samuel Girard, owned in 22% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing, second power play unit there. He has 11 points his last 10 games, with 22 shots on goal and 25 blocks in those 10 games. He's been really hot and should get really good value if you decide to stream him this weekend there. Another one in Colorado is Bowen Byram, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues. He also plays on that second pairing, second power play unit there. He has 6 points his last 7 games. And in those 7 games, he has 12 shots on goal, 16 hits, 14 blocks. He's been really good since coming back from injury there. And he'll be a really good option this weekend, especially in your Cats leagues. Over in Montreal, maybe look at Jordan Harris, owned in 1% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing on the top pairing for the Habs there, and he has 4 points his last 4 games, and in those 4 games, he's been +3, 8 shots on goal, and 8 blocks there. Notice he's been getting more ice time of late, and with that, he's producing a little bit better. So in your real deep leagues, he is an option for you this weekend. Another one in Montreal's Michael Matheson, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing second pairing, top power play unit there. He has 5 points his last 6 games. And in those 6 games, he's +3, has 11 hits and 11 blocks. He's been good for the last couple of weeks here there and should be an okay option come this weekend. Over in Philly, maybe look at Ivan Provorov, owned in 38% of Yahoo leagues. He's playing the top pairing for the Flyers there. He has 6 points his last 11 games, so over that half point per game mark, 21 blocks in there. His offense has been hit or miss there, but he does get blocks, decent amount of shots on goal, so he could be a streamer for you in certain formats. Another one in Philly's Rasmus Ristolainen, owned in 11% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing for Philly there. He has 7 points his last 10 games. Not listed as being on a power play unit, but he does have a couple of power play points in the last 10 games. Also 24 hits and 19 blocks in there. He's been good for a little while here, so he should be an okay streamer for the weekend. Move along to some forwards that play both Friday and Saturday now. We'll start off in Carolina. Look at Teuvo Teravainen, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues. Playing second line, top power play unit there. And he has 9 points his last 10 games. And of those 9 points, 5 have been on the power play. 24 shots on goal there. He's been pretty good for a while there and should be a good streamer if he is available. A little bit higher ownership, so hard to say if he is available for you. Another one in Carolina is Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Sorry, a little bit of a tongue twister there. Listed as center left winger, owned in 2% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit there. He has 7 points the last 6 games, and in those 6 games, he's +3 and has 7 hits there. He's on a small role and could bring value in your deeper leagues. Another one in Carolina is Jordan Staal, listed as a center, owned in 13% of Yahoo leagues, playing the third line there. He's put up 8 points the last 10 games, so nice little run here. And in those 10 games, he has 17 hits and 5 blocks in there. Decent amount of offensive late, as I alluded to, and could be an okay streamer in your deeper leagues for sure. Over in Colorado, maybe look at JT Compher. Listed as center right winger, owned in 23% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit there, and he has 8 points his last 5 games, and in those 5 games has 13 shots on goal and 10 blocks there. He's streaky, but on a nice little roll right now, and should be an alright option this weekend. Over in Montreal, maybe look at Josh Anderson, listed as a right winger, owned in 7% of Yahoo leagues. Playing top line, second power play unit there. He has 5 points his last 6 games, and in those 6 games has 20 shots on goal, 9 hits, and 6 blocks. He is kind of hit or miss, but he's been a lot better of late, so risky, but a gamble that might pay off for you. Another one in Montreal is maybe look at Raphael Harvey-Pinard, listed as a left winger, owned in 12% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit, and he has 9 points his last 9 games, +5 in there, couple power play points, 15 shots on goal, 15 hits, 15 blocks. With him, he's been really, really good since being called up. A little bit of a smaller sample size, but with the role he's on, he should be a pretty good streamer for you this weekend. Another one in Montreal maybe is Joel Armia, listed as left winger, right winger, available everywhere, 0% owned there. Plays on the second line, top power play unit right now. He has 4 points the last 4 games, one of those being on the power play there. He's been good since coming back there, risky, but could be worth taking a chance on in your deeper leagues there. Over in Philly, maybe look at Kevin Hayes, listed as center left winger, owned in 47% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, top power play unit there. He's been pointless the last 4 games, but before that he put up 7 points previous 8. Overall, he's been having a really good season, so he should be a good streamer if he is available in your leagues there. We'll move along to some D-men that play both Saturday and Sunday. Start off in Columbus. Look at Adam Boqvist, playing third pairing, top power play unit there. He has 8 points his last 8 games, and of those 8 points, 5 have been on the power play. He's been producing, so he'll be a really good streamer in your scoring leagues for sure. Next one is over for the Rangers. Look at Keandre Miller, owned in 59% of Yahoo leagues, playing second line, second power play unit there. He has 5 points the last 7 games. And in those 7 games, he's +5, thrown 19 hits and 11 blocks in there. Overall, his Cats are good, and in a Cats league especially, be a pretty solid streaming option if he's available. Over in Pittsburgh, maybe look at Jeff Petrie, owned in 53% of Yahoo leagues, playing second pairing, second power play unit there. He has 3 points the last 4 games. One of those points being on the power play. Also 13 shots on goal, 7 hits, and 5 blocks in those 4 games. It's been decent when healthy there and should be a pretty good streamer if he's available in your leagues. Over in Washington, maybe look at Eric Gustafson, owned in 39% of Yahoo leagues, playing top pairing, top power play unit. He has 6 points his last 6 games. Couple points on the power play there, 15 shots on goal, 7 hits, and 6 blocks. It's been heating back up and should be an alright option for you this weekend if he's available. Finish it off with some forwards that play both Saturday and Sunday. Start off in Columbus again. Look at Boone Jenner, listed as a center, owned in 35% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit there. He has 6 points his last 4 games, and in those 4 games, 21 shots on goal. S-load of shots on goal there, 10 hits and 5 blocks. It's been pretty good in most categories there and should be a solid option for you in Cats leagues, especially this weekend. Might even be okay in your scoring leagues this weekend. For the Rangers, look at Alexis Lafreniere, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 30% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit. He has 9 points his last 11 games. In those 11 games, also has 23 shots on goal, 26 hits, definitely throwing that body around there. He's been decent of late, and you should definitely get some value if you stream him. Another one for the Rangers is Philip Chittle, listed as center right winger, owned in 43% of Yahoo leagues. He also plays on that third line, second power play unit. He has 11 points his last 11 games with 34 shots on goal there. He's cooled a little bit with that tear he was on for a few weeks there, but he's still been pretty darn good, 11 points the last 11, so he should be a solid option this weekend. Another one for the Rangers is Kaapo Kakko, listed as a right winger, owned in 8% of Yahoo leagues, playing third line, second power play unit. He's put up 9 points his last 11 games. He's been a decent offense of late there and should be an okay streamer in your scoring leagues for you. He's a little light in the other Cats, but should be okay in your scoring leagues. Over in Pittsburgh, maybe look at Rickard Rakell, listed as left winger, right winger, owned in 63% of Yahoo leagues, playing top line, top power play unit. He's been hot, 7 points in a 4-game point streak here. One of those points being on the power play, 16 shots on goal in those 4 games, so an S-load of shots there, 4 hits and 3 blocks. He's been really good of late, and you should grab him if he is available in your leagues. Pretty higher ownership, so hard to say, but if he is available, definitely stream him this weekend. Last one's over in Tampa. Look at Anthony Cirelli, listed as center left winger, owned in 17% of Yahoo leagues, playing on the second line in Tampa there. He has 6 points his last 5 games, and in those 5 games, been +4, 13 shots on goal, and 3 blocks in there. He is sporadic, so risky, but he is on Stamkos' line there, and we know Stamkos can definitely put the biscuit in the basket there, so he might be worth taking a gamble on this weekend for you. That's it for today's episode. If you're watching via YouTube, remember to hit like, hit subscribe, remember that notification bell. If you're listening via podcast, give us a 5-star review, hit like, hit subscribe, depending what platform you're watching it on there. Don't forget to check out www.247clash.com. If you do sign up, remember to use referral code LTC. That'll help us out behind the scenes there. And we'll be out in a bit, and good luck in your leagues there, fantasy owners, and we'll talk to you soon.